Yes, hello, my name is Andrew Krupa. I'm from Kaufman Windows. We started company 7 years ago as an to give an option for New Zealanders to have a European standard windows, both PVC and aluminium, properly thermally broken insulated aluminium frames, which we'll show later on. And 2 years ago, we did a job for Dan Saunders and Kirkwood. And it turns out that was the first time we never had a builder, never had to go and have to explain everything. Installation was perfect, flawless, and everyone enjoyed the house. So it turns out we've learned they were part of the super home. And there was a part of the tour, and we had such a good feedback. We decided to join Superhome, be part of it. I knew about warm house building and insulated houses, frames, flooring, everything else. That's how I built my house 9 years ago. And turns out Superhomes is promoting all of those things. So we are part of it now, and we're quite happy to stay on, and we'll be part of the Superhomes for as long as they will have us. So we import our windows. We manufacture windows in Poland, in Europe, out of the Kömmerling, based on PVC Kömmerling profile, and both Javal on Procurol for aluminium frames. We choose the most sort of the thickest profiles, the better insulation profiles for our frames, and for us, triple glazing is a standard now. Some people get shocked, oh no, it'll be so expensive. For us, the difference for the house lot between double and triple glazing is only about $1,000. So that's a European standard. For them, double glazing is not standard, it's something different, so that costs more than here. So, and the Windows European standard, open inwards, and they tilt and turn, one, gives you better sealing. When you turn the handle, all those pins turn all around the sash. So when you lock it, it pushes the window. That's how the better seal windows. There is no chance of the window seals to leak ever. That's how they seal all the time. So that's part of the super home ideology, to have the house fully sealed, no leaks, air leaks, because that's how you lose the heat. Triple glazing, R value 2.0, so that's probably the best you can find it within local windows. Low E glass both inside and outside. It's the highest standard for low E glass. Argon inside, that's all standard. Warm gaskets between the glass not to bridge the heat. So, and the main thing is, and that's what Superhome promotes, is installation within the thermal envelope, which is within the frame of the house. That's what the insulation is, so the window has to be recessed. And those windows in Europe, they're designed to be recessed. Unfortunately, a lot of companies import frames and try to make it fit New Zealand installation. So they put the reveals onto the frame and push it out. Those windows are not designed to be pushed out. There's no insulation from the side. So you create thermal bridging, even you buy those really good frames and you lose 40% of the insulation straight out through the side. And that's why people have thermally broken aluminium installations up to the new standard with better glass, install them typically, and you still have condensation on the frame. So that's the main thing, recess installation. So for the house, why do you need to concentrate on the windows within the super home or any house design where it's retrofit? Typically houses, standard New Zealand home might lose up to 50-60% of the heat through the windows. If you have single glazed, that's pretty much the hole in the wall. You're heating the whole world, global warming, rather than in your house. And if you improve the windows, you can reduce it by at least half of the loss. That's double glazing, standard double glazing with low E. If you recess it and triple glazing, you drop it by probably 80% of your heat loss through the windows. You just reduce it straight away. So that's the advantage of concentrating on the windows when you're doing renovations. Easier things, put insulation up in the ceiling, under the floor, but the next step would be to improve your windows, because that's not just the energy loss, that's your condensation, that's your mold, that's your health risks, that's your sort of a healthy, not just a healthy, but enjoyment of the living. If you have cold windows, drafty windows, you're not enjoying the house, you're staying away, you're trying to shut the view. The other thing is this design, going back to the new houses. If you design the house, everyone trying to make more windows. The better house is smaller windows. Unfortunately, that's not for me trying to sell more windows, but it's definitely the lesser windows. The windows will be the worst performer from the whole house. But if you get the best windows and try to optimize the view, the light, and the insulation, so that's your designer thinking about those things. On the west side, you don't want the big windows because your sun was lower, you'll be overheating. That's what lately been on the news. People have new houses with windows, no eaves, and overheating all year round. So those windows will protect you from that with triple glazing. It will reduce that overheating, but still at the design stage you can do much more by thinking of where you're putting the windows, what windows where, and what's the reason for. Eaves in Christchurch should be 600 mil. That's the depth. That's our position of the sun. So in the winter, you get the sun in. In the summer, you screen. So that's something that good designers should know about. And most of them do. When if you pick the super home, they will think not just the design of the house for the look and insulation, but the position to optimize the sun. If you choose part of super home, you have good windows, you're fully sealed, you wrap your house with your Proclima, inside, outside, you have all those beautiful frames, then you have to think about ventilation, because you won't be thinking about opening the windows all the time. You have heat recover ventilation, you ventilate all the time, recover the heat that's inside the house by providing you warm air. I actually installed at the moment my house, I'm trying to get my house certified for the super home, so I installed, now I actually watch it. I watch the CO2 levels inside the house all the time, which is brilliant. Brilliant to actually get this confirmation. And we notice that whenever we don't turn on the heat recovery system at home, it keeps creeping up. So you have to have it on all the time, just forget it. And if you enjoy it, open the windows and nice sunshine and fresh air, that's only on top of it. We've done a few renovations. I've did in my daughter's home, we've changed all the windows. There was all timber frame, single glazing windows, but the frames were so good, we decided to leave the frames. And that's the timber frames is still brilliant insulator. Timber is just as good, but to get the benefit of triple glazing and the fully sealed windows, we left the frames, cut everything out and push. We have a frame which with the flange, it works really well. You just push it in, screw, and it's got the rubber seal, sealed all up, and you just have to finish on the inside, and it's easy, non-intrusive, don't damage any walls, and you have triple glazing straight away, insulated windows. And for her, because she lives in Burnham, we put the insect screens on the windows. So for those inwards opening windows, so easy, you just clip it on the rubber inside and you can take it off in the winter if you don't want to, but it's so interesting, you just leaves it on now all the time. Other job we did just finished now was in Celia Street, in Redcliffs. There was full renovations, and the owners are German and they wanted German windows, European windows, so they replaced all the sliders, big sliders, and retrofitted brick house and fitted perfectly. Black frames, and yeah, fitted the house nicely, and they're really happy. The other thing is with renovations, a lot of people comment on the quietness of the house, because those triple glass windows insulate 32 decibels as a minimum. Straight away cut the noise from the outside. So like you say chainsaw something would be 60 decibels, you reduce it by half, you'll be hardly hearing it inside. If you're trying to have a conversation through those windows, you can't, because they will cut the sound completely. So you have to open it to talk to somebody. Affordability of the windows for us, I don't see it a problem. The price range is, as a ballpark figure, from 500 to 1000 per square meter. That's from 500, that's the white frames, triple glazed still, but the standard windows without sliders, normal sizes for the house lot, so somebody can just measure the house, work it out, and they'll have roughly the size, the price for the budget purpose. You can go really, like you have those doors with the laminate on the outside, big sliders up to 8 meters, obviously the price goes up, and that's why there is a price range. You can have the color, different color inside, different color outside. You have aluminum clip on the outside. If somebody's really worried UPVC or really want to have specific color, we put aluminum clip on the outside and paint it to whatever it's required. Same, we can mix and match aluminum frames and timber and PVC frames, coat them. Aluminum can be coated with vinyl, make it look like timber. That's what everyone commented in Kirkwood. They look like real timber. And aluminum frames, we can do exactly the same with the same coating. And they last. There's this specific formula for the PVC to withstand the UV rays. So there's no worry about it. That's been around for the last 20 years, been proven to work well, to last. And they are easy to just give it a wash every few months. And if you think about the benefits you get from better house, better insulated house, more energy efficient, less heat loss, the healthiness of your home, the price, it's not the cost you pay up front, it's the longevity of it and the savings you get and better performing house. And I think that's for all the warm house, passive house people, super home, everyone is talking about make your slightly smaller, save those $3,000 or $4,000 a square meter and spend on the quality of the house and you enjoy it much better. Our profiles, we sell PVC and aluminum. So they're very similar size. However, for aluminum to get the performance of the same insulation value as PVC, they insert the large PVC profile inside with the foam in the middle. So you have R value or U values as it states in the standards. It's exactly the same. And they can go all the way up to passive house standard, which both will make them slightly thicker. This one will be 88 millimeters, this one will be 100, and you get the certified passive house standards. The inside, all those frames, not many people know, for the PVC, there's a steel insert to make it stronger. And for the design, as they did for the insulation of the windows, there's little pockets of air on the side. So as you see from underneath, if you push it out, there's hardly anything. There's a steel and that's it. So that's where your thermal bridging will be if you push it out. But if that sits inside the frame, it's not relevant as much. It's the insulation across the frame. That's what's important. And those rubber seals, this one is double seal. We have another one with triple seals. Same with this one. We have triple seals, 1, 2, and 3. And that's for insulation. For the aluminum, they insert the insulation under the glass to stop that bridging through the aluminum where the glass sits. So all those little things that they think of designing, all our glass is fitted from inside with these little beads, so the thickness of the glass can be up to 50 millimeters all up. And PVC is made 30% up to 30% of recycled plastic, and the frames are fully recycled as well. In fact, there's a Christchurch company starting to recycle all the PVC, and I've talked with them. They said quite happy to take the PVC frames. You take the inserts, the steel inserts out, the rest is PVC, you can recycle the whole thing. Same with aluminum. It's arguable what's residual CO2, whatever, aluminum production, PVC production, but if you can recycle it, it's not as critical, and you save, or you can go for timber framing, but it's then again where the forest comes from and you're cutting it on forest. So we still need to build houses. I think it's more important to how we build them rather than concentrate on materials and trying to reduce it that way, obviously. But when you're building the house, the design stage, everyone is thinking the whole construction concept, detailing, and that's what council asks, how you finish, how you flash your windows, how you install it. And it's not just windows, the whole house. And the same with renovations. The house was built, obviously, with something, and you're trying to retrofit something. So with the windows, we try to don't just sell the window to people. You have to think about it how. And so the good builder, we only recommend good installers, good builders. Then Saunders does the retrofitting most of the time. So they'll look at the windows where they can still use the tapes, which is the best way of sealing the windows, weatherproofing it. And if you trying to change your mind later on, it's not going to work. But you have to think about it before you do those things. And the design change, once the windows are installed, and it's not just our windows, everything within the building frame and envelope, it's really hard to correct it later. If you 5 years down the line, oh, my windows are condensation, the windows, I wish I could have done more. It will be really hard. It's possible, but it's more costly to rectify later on. So think about it, how you talk to people that already live in super homes, go and visit some and experience it, and then think about it, what's important before at the design stage. Changing windows or improving the house, I think it's up to 80% more cost later on. It's a lot. You have to, sometimes it's not even possible. You're trying to flash it, the house, got the brick around it. You have to destroy some of the bricks. So you have to just sort of sacrifice some of the things to actually make it work, but it will never be as good as it should be from the beginning. Yeah, part of the super home, that's what I said with retrofitting. Think about design, and a lot of people on the super home tours, you meet a lot of people that heard about super home, they're part of the super home, they're reading newsletters, and they join the tours. That's your only chance once a year to have a look inside the house during the building process, after people lived there for 1 year or 2 years, or they did the renovations. How did they go around that? What could have done differently? So you get experience, you can talk to them, talk to suppliers like us, part of the tour, talk to designers going around, and you can learn a lot, and you can find a good context and free advice. So it's probably the best way to actually learn about houses, to have a look. And there are not many builders who allow you to go during the building process and talk to people how it's all done, sort of expose the secrets, I guess, of doing the job.